G'day, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, and down doggo, and welcome back to the Just Some Aussie Gamer channel, and a new series from I guess I could say a slew of new series, see what I did there, that I have currently plans / working on based around shorter streams to enable myself to stream more regularly and more reliably now that I'm working full time. So the first of those series, wow, talk about losing words. Yeah, the first of those series, should I say, is we're going to be going from the easternmost point in Australia to the westernmost point in Australia. Hence, the name of this new series is hashtag Straya8 Across. Yes, yeah. I know, it's bad. But it makes sense and it tells everybody what we're all about. So therefore, just gonna roll with it. Yes, Doggo is eating her blanket. Excuse me. That's not what we do. You have toys for that. 2 seconds, I'm getting a phone call, because of course I am. Why would I not be getting a phone call at the start of my stream? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Just my sister's coming to do a few bits and pieces around the house with her cleaning business for me. And she's just basically calling me to say, I'm on my way and I'm going to get you a coffee. I can't really argue with that, can I? Anyway, so as I was saying, we're going to be going from the easternmost point to the westernmost point of Australia, straight across the centre. Basically, some of the most remote locations within Australia, if not within the world. Zack Attack 123, mate, g'day, welcome to the stream, hope you are doing very, very well. Ready to get raided, incoming raid, oh, here we go. Wes has initiated the raid. It's alright, I've got the Mortine, Wes, just, Yeah, all good, Brett. All good, mate. Fully understand that your internet is just not capable of doing all of these things at once, and that's not a problem. You didn't construct the internet, you didn't install it, you didn't make the decision for the speeds available to be average, so nobody can really complain about that, Brett, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Twitch is very good at sending notifications quickly, Brett. Over on Twitch. Absolutely it is. But, right, so...
Look! What the fuck is this?
Thank you very much for the subscription, Zach. Appreciate that, mate. Sorry, it surprises me every time someone subscribes. And all I hear is, look! Look! What the fuck is that? Oh, and I'm the one who added that, so I shouldn't really be surprised by it, but it still gets me every single time. Alright, so first flight today is, we are taking off here from Brunswick Heads or Tiagara Airport which is just north of Byron Bay. So for those who are sort of like, where on earth are we? We are we're in the Byron Bay area. So a lot of you guys will probably know what Byron Bay is, especially the international people. It's sort of where all the celebrities reside when they come to Australia. A lot of people have got money, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, that kind of digresses from the whole point of this series. So as I said, we're going to be doing bush planes. It's going to be low and slow, flying over some very decent scenery, hopefully. Thank you very much, Wes. Appreciate that, mate. Rudin says, keep stalling for like 20 minutes. Rudin, you might get your wish here, mate, because I reckon in 5 or 10 minutes' time, my sister's going to come through the door and she's going to be like, here, have a coffee. Also, what do you want me to start with? How do I do this? How do I do that? Where's this? Where's that? So you might actually get your wish here, Rudin. So what we're going to do is when we do leave here from Niagara, we're going to go up to the right and around, and we're actually going to come over the beaches here in Byron Bay and actually fly over the easternmost point in Australia, which is near Evans Head, and that's the location where Evan once got, well, yeah, at least that's what, you know, some of us Australians use as an explanation. Whether or not that's actually true, could be a myth. Don't bite your blanket. You've got toys for that. Okay? Thank you. Gowan says, let's get in the air. Rudin's like, can you keep stalling? Gowan's like, I'll just get it up. Yes, Gowan. No worries, Gowan. Alright, so anyway, I mean, basically this series will sort of explain itself. The flight plans are going to be sent to Calling Pigeon, so we are going to get a proper system going within the Discord where you guys are going to have the flight plans, the information about the areas, the sceneries that might be available, etc., all those things. Don't know how many sceneries we're going to need now that the world update has occurred here for Australia. But, yeah. Alright. So, my aircraft is started. It says caution low oil pressure, which is concerning. And also, I appear to be missing half of my cockpit. So that's interesting. Right. Does anybody else think this doesn't look right? You're not meant to be able to open the file, GC Bounds. You're meant to open it up in your sim, the .pln. It should just open in the world map, mate. If that's what you're trying to do, I'm not sure. Yeah, does anybody think that this interior looks like it's missing half of its interior? Hang on a sec. If this is the interior, it means that I may have clicked on the wrong plane. So give me a second. Because even though we are doing bush plane flying, I still need to have access to the ability to turn an autopilot on so that I'm not forgetting about you guys over in the chat. So just give me a moment here and I will sort this out. Alright, sorted all that out. Sorry about that. It was just that moment of realization when you've picked up the wrong plane. Yeah. Anyway, my bad. So, right, now I'm going to go through and make sure that I set up all the various bits and pieces that need to be set up. This is much more like what I was hoping and looking for. So, I need, that is set to GPS in case we need it. Altitude select. I'm just going to fly at like 1,500 feet. Unless we come across higher mountainous terrain. Got somebody else over there as well. Zack Attack says, raid just ended, check your sub count. 2 seconds. Bloody hell, I've got 293 subscribers now. That's, incredible. Holy shit, thanks to, Jacko and Wes for doing that. That's amazing. Guys, oh, holy shit. Alright, so before we take off, first off, oh wow, what are you doing, Sim? That was questionable. Well, now you get to have a really, really good close-up look of the X-Cub. So I'd like to obviously say a massive good morning / good afternoon to Rudin the Great, Garwin, Josh Manchester, g'day. Mr. GC Bounds, how you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Zack Attack, thank you very much for dropping in. Thank you very much for being the one who sort of said raid incoming. Appreciate that, mate. And welcome to the stream. Brett Plays is here. Brett, mate, g'day, welcome. Hope you are doing very, very well. And Brett Pound is here as well. Mate, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well too. GC Bounds, I have no idea why it won't let you open it. It doesn't make any sense. And now my VFR map refuses to open, so I can't even give you the correct waypoints. There we go. Far out, that took forever. Alright, 2 seconds here, GC Bounds. Drew says, don't forget me, I need a greeting for my sense of worth. Drew, mate, hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing very, very well. 2 seconds, I'm going to type out this flight plan. Whoops, hitting all the wrong buttons. That would have been an interesting looking flight plan there, let me tell you. Oh, why you zoom out 400 kilometers? That, and then that, and then that. Don't worry, I'll get there. Hello, VFR map. You want to move with me? Yes, you do. Oh, I hate mine. The way my mouse operates sometimes is so annoying. Naughty! And then do that. Oh, why didn't I sort this out like a normal person would before the start of the stream? That would have made a lot of sense, but you know, that would require me to do things that make sense, and that's asking a lot. Right, now if you put exclamation mark flight plan into the bot, it should actually do what it's meant to do. Let's see. Da 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 da. There we go. That's better. I mean, the distance and all that still isn't in there, but we're getting somewhere, you know? At least that's what I'll tell myself. Right, okay. So, I also need to say a massive shout out and a special thank you to all the Patreons. So that is Garwin, Josh Manchester, Tony, Jacko, Wes, or Letter Rapier 709, as some of you may know him as, Calling Pigeon, Black Adder, and Sean Dale. I think that's everyone, isn't it? Pretty sure I mentioned everyone's name. I'm always concerned after I've done, even though I've memorized the list of patrons, I'm always concerned that I missed someone. So then I find myself going and double checking anyway. Which seems ridiculous, but welcome to my brain. It's an unsafe place for anyone. Alright. So without further ado, I think we need to remove the brakes, and I think we need to get this thing up in the air before I try and stall anything else. About the only thing I should be stalling right now is the actual aircraft. Especially seeing as I think my sister's just pulled up, so I need to get up and start flying before anything. Alright, so let's go traverse Australia from the easternmost point to the westernmost point. Whoa, that wind! Okay, there's a decent crosswind. Yes, Star. Yes, Star. You tell her. You tell her. Go on, you tell her. Yeah, I know. Oh, that dog is just absolutely insane. Alright, so the music appears to have stopped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up to 500 feet here. I'm then going to set the autopilot, put the music on, go and sort that out, and then I'll come back, hopefully fast enough to avoid missing us flying over the easternmost point of Australia. Hopefully. That's... Alright, so I need to put the nav on, I need to... Flight director, I need that, and I need that. Yes, she's calling me, as if she doesn't think that I can't hear the fact that she's here. I mean, the whole house has been lit up by the dog. Alright, so that can now sort out that. Then... music is... things are happening in the background. Hey, Murray, mate, with the host over on Twitch. Appreciate that one a lot, mate. Thank you very much. And welcome to the stream. Now, that all of that is under control, I'm going to go to the outside view. As you can see, the easternmost point is coming up very quickly. It's that over there. Alright. 2 seconds, guys. I'll go let her in, grab me coffee, and then I will be back. Alright guys, apologies for all the interruptions to start this stream off. So now, I'm going to pull the power right back. We're going to just go nice and low and slow. Like so. There we go. And now we get to enjoy... yeah, I know, Murray. How dare I interrupt the stream to tend to my actual life stuff? Yeah, I know. What a prick. Alright, so in the background there, unfortunately I didn't get back in time, but that is the easternmost point here in Australia. And this is a also very pretty part of Australia. Love the uns music. A bit of doof doof, you know, nothing like a bit of doof doof. Just start, you know, what's the dancing that all the guys do these days? Just like, I don't know, some weird arm related shit. Too old for that. Murray. Careful, Murray, or I'll start with Dance Monkey for you. It's like, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. Oh. God, the fact that I even sang that is, that song has been way overplayed. So, yeah. If you do hear any background noises, she's currently vacuuming, I believe. So, that will be what those background noises are if you can hear them. Right. Now, I need to pull up, what is it? Little nav maps so that I can give a bit more of a in-depth understanding to you guys of what we are flying over. So, at the moment we are just obviously over the rolling hills just outside of Byron Bay. I believe we're heading up towards a place called Nimban. Some people may or may not be familiar with it. It's basically the hippie capital of Australia. You can imagine what sort of activities occur there. Not much productivity occurs, and a lot of... well, the place has an interesting smell to it. Funny about that. So our first place, I guess, that we're going to be flying over is called Repentance. Yeah, Repentance Creek, which makes you repent. I don't know. It's basically, this whole part of the world is very popular with tourists because, as you can see, it's extremely pretty. You're not far from the beach. You're right on the mountains. Plenty of, you know, outdoor activities, plenty of bushwalks, plenty of mountain biking, plenty of four-wheel driving, you know, canoeing, kayaking, all those activities. So if you're an outdoorsy person, this is very much a place that you would come. And if you're somebody who enjoys snacks, Nimban is the place that you would definitely go to because you're going to be doing a lot of snacking if you spend a lot of time in Nimban. Many hours spent with the munchies. The thing is, Garwin, though, that in Nimban, it's not the old hippies. It's people, you know, from like my age to like their 40s. That was interesting. I thought we were about to get a crash to desktop. It's all good though. Yeah, I agree. I mean, okay, so I agree, but I don't agree. To the degree of it's nice to have a you know, nice small world update that doesn't require 1,400 hours of sitting there and waiting for nothing to occur, other than some files to be extracted from the completely and utterly overloaded Microsoft servers. But at the same time, I'm just hoping that it's not like just that'll do world update either. I mean, so far from what I've seen, it seems okay. Melbourne, I don't even know what they did to Melbourne. I can't see any changes, and I've already downloaded my stuff in the content manager, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I genuinely hope that it's not just a slap bang together. I'm hoping it is simply because Australia already looked really good within the sim, that they only needed to do the small 2 gigabytes of updates to continue and just improve the locations that hadn't yet been worked on and weren't really readily available. Yeah, wow, this is pretty nice. So this is the Rocky Creek Dam area that we are flying over right now. This is within the Laniakea rainforest. This is what all this mountainous tree area that we're surrounded by right now is. GC Bound says, my sim is like broken, LOL, so I'm just going to follow you guys. You know what, GC Bound, when in doubt, follow Big Jacko. Yeah, the modern hipsters going. Exactly. Nimban is one of those places, it's well documented on the internet, that even though marijuana is not legal in Australia, in Nimban you can buy it from the shops, on the streets, over the counter. So that gives you an idea of what sort of place Nimban is. It's almost like they just turn a blind eye to it. And they're just like, what, who, where? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, there's many documentation, like there's much documentation. Try that again. There is documented history of places in Nimban being raided and all that back in the days, but I think after a while, when they realised that no matter what they did, the people were still going to be there, they were still going to live their lives the way they wanted to, they were still going to sell what they wanted to the, you know, members of the local community, I think they kind of gave up on policing it, because in the scheme of things, there's much more harmful stuff that people could be doing, so I think they just sort of decided maybe we should just let it go and focus on other things. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to clear that. For a minute I was concerned I was going to produce a C-fit, but no, all good. Icarus says, hello. Hey, Icarus, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing very, very well. So we're going to be coming up here to the waypoint of Lima Sierra Yankee November Golf. That is the Nimban Waypoint. So as you can see, like from the perspective of a hippie, there you go, there's Nimban. It's a very nice location. Plenty of nature surrounding, not far from the beach. I'm going to pull a little bit more power out and a little bit more prop out. I'm going to try and keep it under 100 knots on these flights so that we can get a really nice, you know, enjoyment of the scenery. Now, Nightcap is a national park up there. So as you can see, on that side of Nimban you have the Nightcap National Park, and then on this side of Nimban you have the rainforest. So automatically you can see why this location is so popular with the hippies in Australia. And I mean, even with people like myself who's not a hippie, I can very much appreciate this is a very lovely area to, you know, live in, and I certainly wouldn't turn my nose up at it. So I don't know if we'll be able to see it off to the right hand side, depends what the world update has done, but very soon coming up on the right hand side we should have the Nimban Rocks, which is a formation within this mountain range. And the question is, does Nimban rock? I don't know. All your scenery just went to offline mode going. That's not an ideal situation at all. Bruden says he's behind me and he'll catch up in a minute. Not a problem, mate. All good. All good in the hood. Also, coffee. Because what else does a man need? Now, I just need to be very good at monitoring my altitude here, because flying at 1,500 feet in this part of the world, well, it's risky. It's very risky. So, once we come over this ridge, over near the mountaintop point of interest, city identifier, location identifier, whatever the hell those things are called, we should be able to see the Nimban Rocks. I think it's those little red rocks that are poking out of the top of the hill there. Not getting a very, very good view, would need to be a little bit higher up, but you can sort of see what I'm referring to there, just behind the mountaintop location identifier there. Alright, so we're going to be coming up to our next waypoint, which is Lima Sierra Yankee November India. We're going to be making a right-hand turn and heading across some slightly lower terrain and heading towards Georgica. So, I mean, as you can see, this gives you guys a great appreciation, especially those who are not from Australia, of how remote Australia is, I guess, is probably a good way of putting it. I might just move little nav map to there so that I can watch the Twitch as well. Yeah, exactly, exactly, Murray. Well, we're not all hippies, but we do like a free lifestyle, that is for sure. Alright, so we're just coming up to Georgica here. I need to be, with this small mountain range that's in front of us, I may need to do a little bit of climbing. And Big Jacko with the raid over on Twitch with just himself. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate the thought process, even though it didn't probably come off the way you wanted it to. And yeah, no, not Melbourne, Melbourne. Murray. MELBIN is the best way to figure out how to pronounce that. So I don't know if we're actually going to be able to, when we come up on the main road that goes through here, which is the Rock Valley Road, I don't know whether or not we're actually going to be able to see the Larnook Public School down in there. It's going to be interesting to see if that shows up within the sim. I might go to 2,000 feet just for safety purposes. Yes, I did say porpoises. Give it a little bit more jandle. Hey, Big Jacko's here, the massive slew that he is. Oh my god, Sid Squad raiding me? Really? Yeah, okay, Josh. I was just hoping that I might be able to get away with that. So, there we go. That is the tiny little public school, and that is the, well, I say main road. It's not very main looking, actually, when you look at it from here. But on little nav map, it shows up as a decent sized road. So, yeah, there we go. Alright, so we've well, I was going to say we've safely cleared that. I don't know if I'd call that safely clearing that, but we've cleared that. We have, what, 200 feet to go? Yes, cool. Alright, I'm going to pull that power back out that I just put in. Just because we are now going to come into Flatsville. Hey, Sid Squad! Mate! Welcome to the stream! Hope you are doing well. Alright. So, now we are coming into we're coming up on a location, should I say, called Kyogle, which is a very small town here in New South Wales. Off to the right-hand side in a moment as we come into Kyogle, we should be able to see the Kyogle mountain bike trails just on the other side of this ridge of trees. Whether or not it's depicted in the sim is going to be interesting to see. What's in Kyogle? Not much. A shop, like a fruit, like an IGA, which Australians will know what I mean. What's the best way to describe an IGA? Like a mini version of a supermarket. It's got a hotel, it's got a lookout, it's got a hospital, and it's got a country inn. It's got, you know, all the things that a small location. Oh, it's got a golf club as well. Appreciate that, Sid Squad, Tim. I'm assuming it is Tim because, as you've said to me before, you're the only one who uses the channel outside of streams. So this should be up in here. Yeah, okay, so you can see it below me. This is the Kyogle mountain biking course below us. All these dirt trails and stuff that we've just flown over. And then, as you can see, we're going to actually come in over Kyogle itself. Yep, so that's exactly what it is here as well, Garland. That is exactly what it is here as well. Although it's a little bit more, it's bigger these days than what would be considered independent grocers. There's, you know, small, within the independent grocers, there's smaller chains of, you know, where people own multiple stores or groups of people own multiple stores. So that green building down there is the Kyogle Hospital. So it's not, as you can see, small town, doesn't need a big hospital, kind of makes sense. Although I'm very impressed that a town of such a size actually has a hospital. Just want to make sure that my speed is all good. I'll pull a little bit more speed out because I don't want to, you know, we are on a sightseeing trip on this east to west, easternmost point to westernmost point flight. I'm absolutely loving the fact that I've got everybody ghosting me. That's so cool. Alright, so we'll bring up a little nav map again so that we can continue the tour. I don't know why it's zoomed me out 400 miles. So next little location that we're going to be heading over is Horse Station Creek. And just up from Horse Station Creek is Your Mama. No, I'm not kidding. It is literally listed on little nav map as Your Mama. So there you go. I don't know whether somebody's taking the piss or whatever, but so Horse Station Creek. What exactly is in Horse Station Creek? Well, there's probably a horse station in a creek. By the process of deduction, I've, you know, managed to conclude this. As you can see, there appears to be 2 horse stations, and well, that's not a creek, it's more of a lake, and that's just, yeah. Maybe there was once a creek through here, maybe it was once a creek bed. that would kind of, but yeah, you know, 2 horse stations. So massive, bustling metropolis. But it's crazy to sort of think that we are, what, 20, 25 minutes out of Byron Bay, which is a major, you know, tourist location within Australia, and we are literally in the middle of nowhere where only a couple of hundred people would reside within the general, you know, sort of circular area of where we're flying. Where's the barbecue? It's in the garage, James. I haven't turned it on yet. Where are we? Literally the middle of nowhere. You wouldn't think so, because 20 minutes ago we were on the eastern seaboard coast of Australia. But this is how Australia operates. It is 20 minutes in by plane, and you just don't even know where you are anymore. It's, yeah. Where's my mouse gone? There we go. Mouse is back. Alright, so we're going to be heading back into some mountainous terrain again. We are coming up on the Iron Pot Food Company off to the left-hand side. I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to see that very well depicted. I'm assuming it's probably that little place there. It could also be what we're flying over right now as well. So this first part of the mountain range is called South Tunumba, and it has things like the Tunumba Dam, the Bells Bay Campground. So this is now starting to get into the four-wheel drive sort of part of the world. You know, people with proper four-wheel drives would very much be aware of these sort of locations, spend a lot of time. You can see actually on little nav map that there is a lot of little tracks, and you can sort of see within the sim as well with the big maps, there's a lot of little dirt tracks and like fire tracks for, you know, the firefighters and all that to go and fight bushfires when they do come through places like this. And this is, of course, judging by the fact that we are flying over South Tunumba, and the Tunumba, you know, off to the left is the Tunumba Dam. I'll look in that direction in a moment with the aircraft when we do come up closer and see if we can see it from the air. But this is the Tunumba National Park. What does it have? Four-wheel driving tracks and campgrounds and all those sorts of things, but not much else. It very much is one of those places where you sort of go with your four-wheel drive and your camping gear and go spend an awesome, you know, weekend with some friends kind of thing. So the Tunumba Dam doesn't appear to be depicted within the sim, which is interesting, especially seeing as we've just had a world update. But anyway, oh, James, in this part of the world, absolutely there is. Absolutely there is. I'm just sort of hoping that some of these ridges here off to the left-hand side might clear, like lose a bit of altitude, and we might be able to see the Tunumba Dam, but I'm just not holding my breath, that's all. Now, Tim, question just based on those last two comments. Did you get COVID? If so, I hope you're doing good, mate. Yeah, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to see the Tunumba Dam, which is a little bit disappointing, I must say. But for the moment, I'm just going to stop talking for a bit, seeing as I've basically been talking since the start of the stream, and just let you guys enjoy the scenery and some of the... I'll crank the music a bit, and yeah. a mildly rough landing there, ladies and gentlemen. Just a mildly rough one. Whoops. What the hell is my Streamlabs doing? There we go, that's better. That was really weird. Whoops. Hello? Nothing's working at all now within my sim. None of the buttons or anything are doing anything at all. Yep, no, nothing at all. There we go. Well, just take off here. Just, you know, nothing, nothing to worry about at all. Just a slight detour in the process of the flight. Just, you know, happen to be showcasing the general scenery around the area, and you know, kind of made a slight. What the hell? Right, we'll just clip, you know, a few leaves off the trees. That's fine. Nothing to see here. There is nothing to see here. Well, there's my first sea fit on stream. I was like, oh, those mountains look incredibly tall. Well, maybe I should change off drone mode. And yes, wow. Turns out those mountains were incredibly tall. Anyway, it's grass. It was a nice soft crash. So we're all good. Just hand fly it up and get ourselves a bit more altitude. I think. I feel like this part of the world might need a little bit more altitude for safety purposes. Yep, CFIT awarded, live on stream, which is great. It's exactly what we'll set the altitude to 3,000. I feel like that's going to be safe. Nav. Flight director. That on. Right, there we go. No, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Yeah, exactly, Josh. Exactly. Need some Angus cows. It probably is some cattle stations out over here. Josh, I'll be honest with you, there probably is some cattle stations. But there is absolutely no denying that this part of the world is extremely spectacular visually. I just wanted to make sure that I got a really, really good close-up view of that particular piece of terrain. I thought it looked really, really nice, so I just wanted to make sure that everyone got a good look at it, good look at the inside of it as well to see what's, you know, within the Earth's core. I thought that was a very important part of the tour. At least that's what I'll tell myself. We'll drop the music back down. There we go. Alright, so we'll get ourselves back on course. And then continue the tour. Don't worry, I'm a professional. I know exactly what I'm doing. Look, my aircraft's fine. Not any sort of damage to it whatsoever. Mountain? What mountain? Don't know what you're talking about. It is a bot, Dave. It is. So you got over there, you got Boomy Creek, Beaumont Creek, or whatever you want to call it. So we are nearly back on course. We are still in the... Hello, little navmap. You want to... No, never mind. It's just decided to stop showing me everything. There we go, that's better. Just decided to stop showing me everything that we're flying over all of a sudden, which was great. Anyway, we're going to be coming up on... so off to our right-hand side in a moment, we should have the small town of Bodwina, where we'll be making a left-hand turn at our waypoint of Tango Alpha Tango Echo November. We'll be turning left, which will take us over some waterfalls and campgrounds. Whether the waterfalls are actually depicted in the sim, I'm going to be very keen to see. I hope they are, because it'd be really cool to see that. And then we'll also be flying past Obelisk Peak, which is like one of those peaks that we just got a really good close-up look at, except we're not going to get a really good close-up look at it if we can avoid it. Alright, so there's Urbanville and Bodwina down in there, and there's us making our left-hand turn. So, the Tulum Falls campgrounds and the Tulum Falls should be somewhere in this area between this pointy peak and these three smaller. So something, I'm assuming that this water and all that here is part of the Tulum Falls. It's just a case of whether or not the actual waterfall is shown. Doesn't appear to be. So this is the Tulum Falls campground in here. Quite a big campground. As you can imagine, it's probably frequented again by tourists, especially tourists with four-wheel drives. It's also the South Obelisk track, which obviously goes to the South Obelisk Peak, which is this thing right here that we are flying past right now on our left-hand side. And that is both a four-wheel drive track and a walking track up into there. It's called the Point Carmel walking track. So as we head, we're actually heading down towards Tulum itself now. We'll be making a right-hand turn at Noddy. And then heading towards Upper Tulum and Mount Lindsay, which, even though it's called a mountain, it's probably just a overly excited hill. Oliver Smith says, yo! G'day Oliver, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Coffee is so good. Why is coffee so good? Sorry James, I just saw your comment right up the top of the chat that says Glasshouse Mountains. Wrong state. Glasshouse Mountains is Queensland. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. But yeah, that's up in Queensland way. And also, I think I need to obviously say a massive thanks to Sid Squad for the follow over on Twitch. I know that happened during the time that I was doing the drone showcase with the music and then crashing into the terrain. Also, Garwin was asking how long for the Patreon flight plans, because the guys over in Patreon have asked all of them to submit some flight plans that we're going to be doing some Patreon only flights. So if you are interested in being a part of that alongside various other pieces of content that are going to be occurring as Patreon only, do put !Patreon in the chat and you'll be able to go and check that out. I've got plenty of tiers, everything from $3, and literally all costs go straight back into the channel, whether it be the cost of the music subscription, the internet, the Streamlabs Prime, all those things are helped by the Patreon subscription, and in return I give you guys all sorts of extra bits and pieces and stuff, and you get a dedicated part of the Discord, etc, etc. So now we are going to be heading, sorry Garwin, to answer your question, less than 3 hours if possible. Happy to break it up into multiple streams if you've got something super amazing that's going to take more than 3 hours to complete. So off to our right hand side now, we have the Captain's Creek Nature Reserve, which is just another fancy way of saying national park or rainforest. In case you can sort of see that there's just a lot of tremendous scenery. I don't know why my sim keeps zooming in and zooming out randomly. Like, I'm not even touching it sometimes when it's zooming in. That's potentially, let's try that. Let's say it like a normal person. That's potentially a new feature that has been added, obviously, with the latest sim update, maybe? I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. I know Asobo's all into adding new features, random features that don't necessarily sometimes benefit anyone at all. You have one that is around too. Awesome, Garwin. Yeah, that'll be cool. That will be cool. So we're going to be heading, we are coming up on our final destination here of Stanthorpe. We've still got a little bit to go, about another 25, 30 nautical miles, something like that. I mean, as you can see, we're already now starting to basically leave the greenery. We've been flying from an hour in from the coast, and this is sort of the last little bit of greenery that you're going to really come across, last major bit of greenery, because as you can see, it's starting to become more of a browny yellow as we get more remote. Less rainfall, less moisture, hotter days, etc. What part of Australia? This is rural New South Wales, William. Coming up in a place called Stanthorpe, not far from Bogabilla. Yeah, William, it's nuts. Thanks to Wes and Jacko, I got a stream raid at the start of this stream and gained like 20 subscribers in the space of like 5 minutes. It was nuts. Blew my mind. Oh yeah, I might be. Yeah, I'm pushing that engine way too much. Sorry, Garwin. I forgot to adjust it after I'd got myself out of my C-fit. There we go. My bad on that one. Yeah, wow, look at the change already. Like, we've just literally left rainforest area and now it's just rock and yellow and brown and starting to, I believe in our next east to west Australia flight that we will probably cross into what is considered the proper outback Australia, where the soil starts to turn red. There we go, going. I feel like that's a bit more like it. So we are, I know it sounds probably, or it seems insane, but we are right on the New South Wales and Queensland border here. So Stanthorpe is actually in Queensland, believe it or not, despite the fact that we were flying directly west from Byron Bay in New South Wales. So up on our left-hand side, in a moment, we're going to have a place called Moss Vale, which is very green, wet and moist. Yeah, I mean not really, but I really hate how the. Does anybody know how to stop little nav map from just continuously zooming out to a position that I don't want? Like, is there a way to just decide what position you want it? Because every time I zoom in, it just zooms straight back out. No questions asked. It doesn't let me pass go. It doesn't let me collect $200. It doesn't do any of that. It's just like, no, you must not do that. I am the captain now. Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious, idiots. You're off to the right of my plane, flying in formation. Oh, there you are? Yeah, there you are. Bruden says, green, wet and moist. That reminds me of this alien that you used to date. Yeah, that doesn't even surprise me, Bruden, that you're dating aliens and all sorts of stuff like that. Use right mouse button, don't use middle mouse button. Is that for little nav map? Nope, that doesn't do anything for me at all in little nav map, Josh. That's really weird. Really weird. No, it doesn't. Look, I'm clicking it. It's not resetting my zoom. But if I just move the mouse around a bit, now it's just zooming in without me touching the mouse. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, it's not a big deal. It's just another interesting observation about extra features that they seem to like to add to this sim that, as I was saying, benefit nobody at all. So off to our right hand side we should have Willie Creek. Unfortunately Willie isn't currently in this stream, but his creek is. Alright, I might visit the lavatory that I have custom installed in my X-Cub, and then we'll come back and we'll make a landing. So 2 seconds. Geez, I feel like we're uncomfortably close to the terrain again here, even at 3,000 feet. And that I potentially would have walked away there into more of a... So I'm going to try taking it up to 3,500. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, GC Bounds. It's creeping up on us ever so slightly. So we're coming up here on the right, like we are almost about to cross the Queensland-New South Wales border here. And then we're also going to, on the right-hand side, we're going to have the towns of Maryland, as in the chicken, and Cottonvale. And that is also the home of the Heritage Estate Winery, which it's actually quite interesting to have a winery so inland in such a remote location within Australia. I'd be very interested to know what sort of wines they produce in this part of the world. Yeah, I'm thinking that as well, Garwin. I just don't know what, because I've always used my middle mouse button to zoom in and out and like browse around my screen positioning. So I don't know what key could possibly be stuck, because I haven't made any keybind changes within the sim at all, ever. So I don't know. And it seems that every time that there's a sim update that I get extra features with my zoom and keys that I didn't previously get. So we're coming up, so we have just crossed into Queensland. We're going to be making a left-hand turn here. Off to our right-hand side should be Maryland. Not that it's labelled, but it is. As you can see, there's a lot of winery and grape... what are they called? Friggin' grape growing. Wow, that was incredibly difficult for something so simple. So now we're going to be heading down towards Stanthorpe Airport. Now Stanthorpe is a little bit of a bigger place, and probably the biggest place actually that we've seen realistically since we left Byron. I wouldn't go out and say it's massive, but it amazes me that there's a couple of wineries out here. In fact, there's more than a couple. There's 3 wineries in this area, and there's 4 wineries. And there's a truffle centre as well. There's truffles I can understand growing out here in such a remote part of the world. That I can definitely understand, but I'm just amazed by the fact that they can grow grapes and make wine out here. Because it's not cold out here. It's not like a, temperate climate where it's, 20, 25 degrees. No, it gets, like, we are in the middle of, New South Wales / starting in Queensland. We're starting to get, it gets hot, like really hot. So I'm surprised, very surprised. But I mean, hey, if they can do it, that's awesome. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fly up to Stanthorpe Aerodrome. We're going to fly over it. And then once we've overflown it, I'll come back around and make a landing. The active runway is runway 26. So that is the opposite side of what everyone's landing on. Just saying. Absolutely, Jacko. How's the Serenity? Tell him he's dreaming. Alright, so I'm going to now take over control from the aircraft and come out and around into Stanthorpe. So I want to be making a left-hand turn here. Exactly, Jacko. Oh, what's this, love? No worries, GC Bounds. Anyone who hasn't landed by the time I land, I will get the drone out and obviously film you guys coming in. So as you can see, these flight plans are absolutely perfect for myself for those evenings that I do finish later and I've only got, you know, an hour or two to, you know, stream and not 3.5 hours. I've got another couple of ones that I'm working on. The Nile River, Route 66 in the United States. A couple of others as well that are not currently planned yet, but I will work on planning. And basically it will enable me to have those fallback options and help to keep me motivated, knowing that, you know, I can do a 90-minute stream when I've finished a long shift, but I can't do a 3.5, 4-hour stream when I've finished a long shift. Oh, okay, that's a fair point, Gowan. I guess I'm just so used to, you know, like in Australia, most of the main wine areas, like the Yarra Valley, the Clare Valley, the Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale, all those places sort of have just that, you know, all year round it's, you know, between 18 and 30 degrees Celsius. You know, there's no real variation other than between those temperatures. But I guess you are right, it just comes down to the category of grape that they're growing, I guess. You know, there's definitely grapes that would obviously thrive in this part of the world. But it just interests me because, you know, even as an Australian, you're never sort of told that these other locations exist with wineries and grape growers and all that. So I find it, I just find it incredibly interesting when we come across stuff like this, because then I'm just sort of like, oh, what sort of wine and grapes do they produce in these areas with these different climates and altitudes and all that sort of stuff. That's just the chef in me, you know, sort of going, ooh. Alright, pull the power out, pull the flaps in, let's line her up and put her down here in Stanthorpe. Oh, well there you go, Garwin. I'm not, I'm not that knowledgeable about wine, other than I know what wines I like, I know what sort of flavors I should be looking for from certain grape varieties, but that's about it. You know, I couldn't tell you exactly how each variety should, you know, be stored and why it's produced the way it is and what temperature, you know, it needs to be done at and all. None of that stuff. You know, I'm not that kind of person that tastes a wine and go, oh yes, I can taste leather. You know, no. You know, if it tastes like something that's familiar, I'll sort of say it, but it's going to be food related. I don't really go around licking my shoes to sort of determine, oh yes, that's how my wine tastes. Okay, get down. Get down? Oh, we are down. We're bouncing along. Okay, I'm like, what the? Okay, now we're drifting. That was interesting of a landing. I'll be honest with you, that was an interesting landing. Definitely not my best, that's for sure. Yeah, I forgot about the fact, Garwin, that these bush planes don't like, with the Tundra tyres, don't like landing on proper runways. They thrive on gravel and dirt and grass. I just thought it wasn't getting down. I thought I was just, you know, floating above the runway, and then it kept sort of going doing, doing, doing. I'm like, all right, I'm just bouncing along. Cool. Yep, no worries, Wes. Thank you much for coming along, mate. And also a massive thank you to you for the subscription raid and passing it on what you received on your channel. I really, really appreciate that, Wes. Alright, who am I parking next to here? I feel like, so I'm not very good at tail draggers. I feel like I should fly the NX Cub, the one that's not a tail dragger. For the rest of these flights. Fruiden's gonna be waiting for the next one like a crackhead. Alright, that's on. Now, where is GC Bounds? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, GC Bounds, but I can't see you. Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it, Dave, and I'm looking forward to us. So we're going to the other two series that I'm going to be introducing in February is going to be flying the historic Route 66 in 2-seat aircraft, and then we're also going to be going and traversing the Nile River from the Mediterranean all the way down to the source down in Burundi. I haven't decided what aircraft we're going to do that in yet, but you can expect it's going to be something interesting or different. You're on final, you're just too far away. Alright, I'll grab the drone out, GC Bounds. And we'll see what happens. What runway are you on final for, mate? Garwin, I'm more than happy to do Route 20 after historic Route 66. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for as well. When like within the Patreon, when I say if you have any suggestions of actual streams that we should look at doing as well, that's the kind of stuff I want to know. You know, about like I know Australia very well. I could come up with hundreds of series about Australia and New Zealand, no problem. You know, really, really easily. But I don't want to just obviously be flying these shorter flights within Australia, and I'm not that familiar obviously with some of the more interesting places around the world. But yeah, I'd be very, very happy to do route number 20 in the US after I do Route 66. Now it's historic Route 66, so it's going all the way from Santa Monica Pier in LA into Chicago. Because obviously I know that Route 66 sort of doesn't exist properly anymore. There we go, GC Bounds has just appeared as he's landed on the runway. Well, that was useful. Thank you very much for that, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Brilliant stuff. William says, overall impressions of the update. So far, William, I'm quite happy with it. But at the same time, very aware of the fact that Australia was already very, very good within the sim itself. But the ground textures and the definition in colours between the various parts of land seems a lot more defined now. It's not just sort of, oh, that's all yellow, that's all green, that's all reddy/brown. You know, there's a nice... yeah, sort of like, as you can see, you know, there's this previously would have been just sort of all the one brown colour and all the one yellow colour and all the one green colour, and now you can see it's got much more definition to it. So that's probably the most noticeable part so far about the update. I would need to go and explore some of the locations, especially like in the Cape York Peninsula and all that within Australia that were not very, very well done at all prior to the world update, and things like the Torres Strait Islands, some of the really, really, really incredibly remote places, you know, surrounding like the Northern Territory, WA, South Australian border and all that sort of stuff, which of course would have had very little high quality satellite imagery within Bing Maps to start with. Those are the kind of locations that I expect to see a big, big difference in the scenery. Yeah, so guys, if you have any suggestions of shorter flight series, chuck them in. I'll make a section for that in the Discord. Patreons can obviously chuck them in the actual Patreon. Now, obviously, people who are Patreons who suggest flight plans are obviously going to get priority. That would have probably been kind of common sense, I guess, to most of you. But if you do chuck something up, I'm always going to be looking for, you know, series where I have 90-minute flights that I can just sort of use to, as I've said previously, stream more reliably, more, you know, like what my old stream schedule used to be. And then the world adventure can be saved for, you know, when I've got the time to do a 3.5, 4 hour stream. And therefore I'm not rushing it. I put the effort into it that it requires, and, you know, it gives me time to research the knowledge that's required for the areas we're flying over, etc., etc. Anyway, I won't bore you anymore with any of that sort of thought process behind it on the stream. Agreed, Vruden, agreed. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, a massive shout out to all of you for coming along. A huge thank you to all of you for the 27 likes. That's amazing for what is a 90-minute stream, or just over 90 minutes. I really, really appreciate that. I cannot thank you all enough for the support. I do hope you enjoyed the first part of this East to West Australian series. And I honestly can't wait to get started on some of the other mini series that are surrounding the world adventure as well. Obviously, I'd like to say a massive thank you again to all of my Patreons. Those people are Wes, Big Jacko, Calling Pigeon, Tony Barrow, Garwin, Josh Manchester, Blackadder, and Sean Dale. Guys, cannot thank you enough for the extra support of the channel. To the rest of you, thank you very much for coming along. Massive shout out to everyone who did jump in and provide raids. Big Jacko, Leaded Rapier, and Sid Squad. Cannot thank you guys enough for that either. But ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, wherever you are in the world, you look after yourselves, stay safe, stay well, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll catch all of you in the next stream. Cheers.